Ladies and gentlemen, joining me in the studio, I got a whole room full of people, and it's very cool people. From the USS Iowa, of course, we talked to Captain Doug McCrae a few months ago about the building of the ship and some of the charity work going on with it. But joining me in studio right now are some of the folks from the USS Iowa. Captain Matt Powell is here. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. Thanks for having us on.
Master Chief Dexter Buckley.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
And Lieutenant Jacob Faltmeyer.
Perfect. Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty well. It's been a good trip so far.
And what are we doing back in Iowa? Because if I remember correctly, the ship is still under construction out on the East Coast, correct?
That's right. So the ship is being built in Groton, Connecticut by General Dynamics Electric Boat, and we're doing pretty well, moving along in the milestones and making pretty good progress to get her out in the water.
If I remember right from the first interview we did with this, it was going to be about a year before it was finished. Is that about where we're at still? Or
Still working towards. So there are some big milestones coming up within a year. I think ultimately she'll end up joining the fleet sometime in 2024.
Awesome. That's very, very cool. So are you guys, what are we doing back in Iowa? Just doing the tours, doing the talks, doing the...
Oh, while we're here today? No, it's been good. So I had the opportunity to talk to the local ROTC unit at Iowa State. That'll be later today. And then I've had the honor of being invited to speak at the Polk County Veterans event tomorrow on Veterans Day.
That's very cool.
To speak to the group of veterans that'll be there and honor our veterans.
And you just made these guys come with you?
They came along for the ride.
Hey guys, we're going on a magical trip to Iowa. Now, are any of you guys from Iowa or?
Not
at all.
Well, when you join the USS Iowa, I imagine you'll become.
That's right. We feel
Iowan.
like we're honorary citizens now that we're part of the USS Iowa. We're trying to take on the Iowa nice mentality and work our way out. So
trying to,
yeah.
But when you're a submarine, I don't know if you can be that nice, right?
Most days, yeah.
So what? Let me ask you this about the boat. What's the biggest challenge of it right now?
I think right now, keeping the crew engaged and trained up for all the milestones. A lot of big milestones coming up the construction process here. A lot of testing that they're going to be responsible for, and it's sort of that daily grind as we work through that stuff and keeping everybody motivated, engaged with that finish line in sight to make sure that we can reach that and meet all the goals on time.
I got you. Captain Matt Powell in studio with me, Master Chief Dexter Buckley, Lieutenant Jacob Faltmeyer. Excuse me. I'm trying. I really am. Does anybody else have trouble with your name, or is it just me?
Everybody, my whole life growing up.
Oh, wow. Oh, I just saw your belt buckle. You've got one too. Okay, for those of you who can't see this because this is obviously audio, they've got the state of Iowa belt buckles. That's really cool, you guys. Is there a reason for that or just cool?
Most ships usually design kind of a belt buckle that's
really
a part of the heritage of whatever that ship's name may be, and in this case, the USS Iowa. So we picked a belt buckle. We all know lots of people in Iowa like the bigger belt buckles, and so we decided to get the bigger belt buckle shaped like our namesake state.
Where is Master Chief's?
Mine's in the mail.
It is? That really?
It's on order.
There you go. I got you. So as we do get closer to the launching of the boat, what's going to be happening? What's going to what's the checklist like right now?
So right now she is still
with what you can actually say.
Right now she's actually still in one of their main construction buildings. So a lot of work that's done before we actually go in the water. So one of the biggest steps will be when she gets to go waterborne after they finish all the welds, all the maintenance that has to be done before she can go in the water. And then we push through a bunch of propulsion plant testing. Everything has to get tested, certified, make sure it's good to go before we can go to sea. And then ultimately, there's a lot of crew readiness type training, so certifications to make sure that we're ready to operate the ship when we first get out to sea. And that kind of all culminates then ultimately with what we call sea trials. We're going out and we're running the ship through the entire gamut of operations to test every piece of equipment on board while we're out to sea. And after she comes back through that, passes with flying colors, then we come back and officially shift to the USS Iowa once we're commissioned. So
what are we at now?
it's a PCU Iowa, so pre-commissioned unit Iowa. And then once we kind of enter the Navy's register of official warships, we'll go USS Iowa.
Who can tell me, give me an idea of how big this thing is? So let's put it in this term, like a landmark, maybe in Des Moines or in Iowa or.
So I guess over one football field long, and then width, tens of feet in diameter, so in excess of 30 feet in diameter, and pretty impressive to look at. You're talking a major, massive warship that's right now sort of completely on display at the building in Groton. So
let me ask you guys this: and have all of you guys served on a submarine before, or? First time?
Yes, we're all submarine sailors.
Okay, answer me this. What's the part of working on a submarine that people don't get? Each one of you, what's your thing that's like, man, I wish people would understand this?
Have you ever seen the movie Groundhog Day?
Really?
So, being on deployment for 6 months, waking up every day, it's a grind. It's
Okay.
Getting the job done, though, eating, doing your, standing watch, doing the job, going to sleep.
Okay.
Obviously, some things pop up and things happen, but doing that important mission for our nation.
Yeah,
there's that
and
repetition.
a grind, not in a bad way, but I mean, there's probably repetition in it.
Well, it's just pretty interesting because you put in this work and it's several days of like you said, sort of that that grind, that dedication to get there, and then when you get that one collect, or you execute that one mission, and then that 15 minutes or that couple hours of intelligence that you collected is going to just boost the rest of the nation's defenses, or do that stuff, and then it's all that hard work that sort of culminates in that great event.
Chief, how about you?
I guess one of the most common question I ever get about submarines, I guess this is beneficial because we can get ahead of the question now, is do submarines have windows? Ours do not, unless you count the periscope. So I guess technically we have two, because we have two periscopes.
Well, I imagine when you're in the depths of the ocean, there's not a great view.
It's pretty dark.
How about you, Captain?
I think one thing I always get asked a lot is, well, don't you ever get claustrophobic? Don't you ever, feel like you're just, being compressed upon? And honestly, you don't. I mean, it is, obviously tight space, tight quarters, but to what Lieutenant Faltmeyer was talking about, you're so busy just kind of getting the mission done every day. It doesn't even really occur to you that you've got this sort of not as much space as you might have on land, and then but surrounding you are kind of 150 of your greatest coworkers ever imagined, and so everybody's just kind of working together. And so I don't know. I always get asked, don't you get claustrophobic on your way? And it's never been an issue. So just because you kind of are so busy working on it, I never even really think about it. So
do you have a cool phrase for getting underway? Like in Star Trek or anything?
Yes, well, so like our catchphrase is, and again, it harkens back to the battleship, the Iowa, which was the third ship to have the Iowa name, and they were called the Gray Ghost because of some of the missions that they had accomplished. And so our sort of attack slogan is one person will say "Fight Iowa," and then the rest of the crew will say "Fear the Ghost," because we like to say that we're carrying out the conditions as a submarine. We call ourselves the silent service, sort of on scene but unseen. And so, fear the new ghost, the new Iowa. And so, fight Iowa, fear the ghost is our catchphrase there. Yeah.
I like it. Captain Doug McCrae, when he was letting us know that once you guys do kind of get into the water and underway, we probably aren't going to hear from you guys unless we absolutely need to, right?
Yeah. We'll save the best stories for our own brain and come back with the ones we can tell you. Yeah.
When you can bring the Kraken back
That's
with
right.
you or
That's
something.
right.
I get you. Captain Matt Powell, Master Chief Dexter Buckley, and Lieutenant Jacob Faltmeyer. I'm every time I go to say it, I'm a little scared. All in the studio with me. They're a part of the USS Iowa, the new submarine that's going to be getting underway. Again, what class was it? I forget.
She's a Virginia class, so she's Block 4. So they've had various improvements throughout the process of Virginia class. So. Block 4 Virginia class.
I got you. Captain Doug McCrae, can you step up to a mic real quick? We are still looking to help these guys out with some of the just stuff for the boat and whatnot. How can people help again?
You go to our website, www.ssn797.com. There'll be a link there that you can see what's going on with the boat and see what's going on with the commissioning committee, and gives you the opportunity to register for information on our periodic newsletters, and also the opportunity to donate to the cause to help provide the boat with things that the government can't fund.
All right. Anything in particular you'd like to say?
No, I mean we've just been.
Does Captain need a lazy boy?
No. We've been honored.
I don't know about Captain,
so far,
but Master
so.
Chief might.
And all that support obviously goes to the commissioning committee, which Doug is in charge of. That
Very
sort
cool
of
stuff.
Directly supports the ship. So it's been great.
We'll have all your links at the bottom of the page again, and help spread the word as best as possible. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Happy Veterans Day to you. We appreciate everything you do, and anytime you're in Iowa, feel free to stop by, guys.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.